tier list video view, I say another, like we do them frequently. Honestly, it's probably been over a year since we last did one. If my memory serves me right, I think we've done a football club one, a Marvel one, and a fast food one, potentially. But anyways, today we're going back down the film route with Disney and Pixar films. Well, Pixar is Disney, obviously. But yeah, obviously I love movies, and I do love a lot of Disney's films, and what ones are my favourites? Well, we're going to be getting into that shortly. So in terms of the tiers that we have S, obviously the best of the best, A, B, C, D, and then never seen. So I think to start, I'm just gonna skim through this list and move any ones that I have not seen, and to be honest, I'll probably put in here the ones that maybe I watched like once as a child but wouldn't be able to, give an informed opinion on. But like these ones here, Saludos Amigos, The Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Tree, and Melody Time, I've never even heard of. The same as this one as well. Down Under, I don't think I've seen. See, there's so many films here that in my childhood I definitely would have watched, but I just can't seem to. I wouldn't be able to give a really good judgment on. So The Rescuers and Oliver and Company, although honestly I can't really remember that one. And I think that's it. Maybe Fantasia. I get all the Fantasias mixed up a little bit because there's one which I really used to love as a kid. I don't know if you know what it is I'm about to talk about, but it's where Mickey uses magic. He can't be bothered to fill the well up with water, so he magics these brooms to do it, and I remember it really quite scaring me as a kid, but I also really liked the music. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was in one of the Fantasias, but I'm not entirely sure. So anyways, I think that is pretty much all for the never seen / can't remember categories. So let's start going through these one by one and ranking them essentially. So we begin with Snow White, honestly the original cartoon. I'm gonna put Snow White in B tier. I just know I'm gonna trigger so many people, but that's what it is, isn't it? You give your opinion, and everyone has their views and their opinions, and rather than berating me in the comments, let's open up a conversation. Let me know your favourite Disney films, your least favourite Disney films, etc, etc. But yeah, Snow White is like a staple of Disney, isn't it? But it's just not one of those films that I'd go back to and watch again and again, but very enjoyable. Pinocchio, honestly, I'm going to put Pinocchio in D tier. I think Pinocchio is really boring. Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. Next we've got Dumbo, a very cute character, but to be honest, I think the first 20 minutes of this film is really good. It's really sad and sort of hard-hitting, but honestly I couldn't really tell you what happens in the rest of the movie. Obviously they've done a live action remake of it, which was okay, but it wasn't anything special. I'll put Dumbo in C. It's certainly better than Pinocchio, but I think just the last hour of it has pretty high forgettability. I'll say now, I'll do my best to order these in their individual rankings as well, so we get a clear list, but it might be a little bit difficult. Next up we have Bambi. Obviously in Bambi we some sad moments as well. I think Bambi is good. I think it's probably better than Dumbo. I'd say Bambi's on level with Snow White, to be fair. I'd put Snow White before Bambi just because Snow White is a bit more iconic and, you know, the dwarves are pretty jokes. But, yeah, okay. Next, Cinderella, another one they've done live action, but we're talking about the cartoon. Possibly the most iconic Disney princess. I'm gonna... Oh, it's tricky. Do you know what? I'm gonna put it in top of C. The story just... it doesn't really do it for me. The Disney princesses just, in terms of Disney films, they're not really my thing, so... next, Alice in Wonderland. Now this is one I can get behind, but she's not really a Disney princess per se. You know what, I'm going to put Alice in Wonderland in top of B, to be honest. Like, I loved the remake with Johnny Depp in it. I thought it was really well done. But this cartoon, yeah, I remember watching it as a kid and being almost like mesmerised by the world and by some of the characters and stuff. I think it's a very interesting film. Next up, we've got Peter Pan. Honestly, I'm putting Peter Pan in S tier. Peter Pan is one of my favourite Disney cartoon films, I have to say. Just the story is it's just so good and heartfelt, and I keep mentioning the remakes. I am grading these based on, you know, what's in front of me, but the live action Peter Pan, which is quite a few years old now, is absolutely fantastic. Like, I think it's brilliant. Like, the music in that, I mean, it's still used in Disney, like, adverts and stuff, so... And they made it a little bit darker and stuff. They made the mermaid scary. It's just, like, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Peter Pan for me is an S tier Disney movie. Next, Lady and the Tramp. I'm putting this in D tier. I'm putting it above Pinocchio, if I can. Again, Lady and the Tramp just doesn't do it for me. There's not much more to say on that. And honestly, this Sleeping Beauty. Honestly, I've probably watched it once or twice. It just, yeah, she's a bit of a rubbish Disney princess if you ask me. Next, 101 Dalmatians. Oh, I'm going to put this in A. Yeah, I'm going to put it in A. It's, I've actually watched it recently because my sister, she's 6, is currently just going through phases of just binge watching Disney films, and so I'll occasionally catch one or decide to sit down and watch one. 101 Dalmatians is a brilliant film. Live action not as good, but yeah, I do love 101 Dalmatians. The Sword in the Stone, I'm actually going to put down in Never Seen because I can't remember anything about it, and I'll do the same for this one. I just spotted Black Cauldron and Great Mouse Detective because I really can't remember them. Next, Jungle Book. Oh, Jungle Book, S tier. Jungle Book is an absolute S tier Disney movie, 100%. It goes in front of Peter Pan for me. It's just so good. The characters, the music in this is so good. Like King Louis' song "I Wanna Be Like You" is like is probably my favourite Disney song. Definitely out of the cartoons, anyway. But yeah, and BB mentioning the live action remakes. The recent live action remake of Jungle Book I thought was absolutely brilliant. So good, so good. Although they made King Louis like really creepy and borderline perverted, but maybe that's what orangutans are like in real life, I don't know. Next up, the Aristocats. I'm going to put Aristocats in D. Again, just doesn't do it for me. Wonder how many times I'm going to give that excuse in this. Next we got Robin Hood. I really like Robin Hood. I'm going to put Robin Hood in B, in between Snow White and Alice in Wonderland. I remember watching the video of this in primary school, Robin Hood. Next we got Winnie the Pooh. I can't quite tell what movie that is. Are there any other? Oh yeah, there are multiple Winnie the Poohs. Do you know what? I'm just gonna put this down here and just do Winnie the Pooh as a whole. I'm disappointed that Heffalump movie isn't on here because that is an absolute cracking film. But Winnie the Pooh's going in A tier. It's just iconic, and I love the variety of characters in there, especially Eeyore. And actually, Tigger. Fun fact: Tigger was my first word. So there you go. So sentimental value gets in A tier for me. Next, The Fox and the Hound. Been some years since I've watched this one. I'm gonna put it in C. I'll put it behind Dumbo. But yeah, from what I remember, just a pretty decent Disney film. Next, The Little Mermaid. Oh, that's tricky. Like I say, I don't identify with Disney princess films too much, but you know what? I'm gonna put it at the top of B, just because the music in that is like brilliant as well. Like, Under the Sea is one of the most iconic Disney songs, in my opinion. Next, we got Beauty and the Beast. I'm gonna put it in B. If it wasn't for the like side characters like Lumiere and the teacups and everything, it would be pretty terrible, to be honest. So they save it. Like, Be Our Guest is an absolute banger. So next up, we've got Aladdin. Aladdin is definite S tier. To be honest, I think it goes at a beat a band for me. Not as good as Jungle Book though. Robin Williams in this, he just gives such a good performance. Like, even though he's playing a blue genie, he just stamps his authority on it 100%. And yeah, honestly, I want to be like you from Jungle Book. And what's the song in it? Never Have a Friend Like Me. Just, I think they're my two favourite Disney songs, and Prince Ali is a really good song as well. The live action remake with Will Smith got quite a lot of hate and didn't do that well. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the actor who played Aladdin was a bit wooden, but in my opinion, I think Will Smith was one of few people who could partially fill the shoes of Robin Williams, and I think he was the best part of that live film. He did a great job as Genie, so well done, Will. I'm saying that as if he's watching this, but yeah, Aladdin, an S tier Disney movie for me. Next up, we got Lion King. Oh, I'm putting it in S tier again. Hans Zimmer just doesn't miss, does he? And his music in this is just absolutely phenomenal. And I remember watching this so much as a kid, so it's got sentimental value, but I could still watch it now and probably cry, but be engrossed in it from start to finish. The live action was absolutely terrible. I thought, like, it was just, I don't know, it just felt off. Quite a lot of the live actions have been good, but that Lion King one, let me know if it's just me, but I thought it was absolutely terrible. Going into it, I was like, this cast is pretty stacked, it should be incredible, but it was far from that. It just didn't feel right, to be honest. But yeah, Lion King, incredible film, incredible music. To be honest, most of my favourites are the Disney films that have a great score, soundtrack, etc. So, next up, we have Pocahontas. To be honest, I think it's a bit of a nothing film. I'm actually going to put it at the bottom of D. Like, I don't really think it's that good. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah, I'm going to put it like here in D again. Just, I sound like a bit of a broken record, but incredible music like A Star Is Born. Oh, what a tune. If you're feeling down and need a song to pick you up, just listen to that. But yeah, Hercules, great film. Yeah, not too much to say. Mulan, oh my days. Yeah, the good films are coming. We got like a lot of the stinkers out of the way early doors. Mulan, oh, Mulan is S tier. Oh. Thing is, this is interchangeable all the times, but I'll just put it back there. The story of Mulan is amazing. I love the character of Mushu. Is it voiced by Eddie Murphy? Just so good. Yeah, the story, and again, just the score in this film it's arguably it's probably the most beautiful of these Disney cartoon films, to be honest. It's so good. Tarzan. Oh, I'm gonna put Tarzan top of B. Yeah, top of B for me. It's a good film, but yeah, it is a very good film, but to me it just doesn't have that, like, if I was going to sit down and watch a Disney film, it's not one that I choose to watch again. But I remember being quite scared of like the opening scene when I was a kid, but yeah, I still think it's a very good Disney movie. Dinosaur, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this film. What on earth? This is like giving me major throwbacks. I'm gonna put it in never seen because I can't remember anything about it. I remember that scary dinosaurs red, but that's pretty much all I can remember. But that's like an absolute blast from the past, seeing that photo. Moving on, The Emperor's New Groove. I owned this on video on VHS. To be honest, I owned most of these cartoons on VHS. The Emperor's New Groove, I'll put it, I mean, it's alright, I'll put it in C tier. I think top of C tier is probably fair. Excuse me, there we go. Atlantis, oh, I remember watching this a couple of times. It's quite a cool Disney movie. You know, I'm gonna put it in, I'll put that in C as well. I'll put it in between Cinderella and Emperor's New Groove. And here we have it, Lilo and Stitch, my favourite Disney film of all time, my absolute favourite. It's just so good. Hawaiian roller coaster ride, absolute slapper. What a belter. But yeah, it's just like the story. Stitch is so funny. He's probably my favourite Disney character. Yeah, there's not much to say. It's an amazing film, in my opinion. Treasure Planet, oh my gosh, yeah. I remember that little pink glob. I'm putting Treasure Planet in A. Like, there are some beautiful shots in this movie, if I remember correctly. And it's, yeah, I actually really want to watch this, because it's been some years since I watched it. Might actually watch it at some point this week, because it's awesome. I remember. Brother Bear. I'm gonna put this down here and see. I think, like, it's a decent enough film, just doesn't really do it for me, so it's like Fox and the Hound, I'd say. Home on the Range. Oh gosh. So we're into the Pixar films now. Home on the Range. I don't really remember liking this as a kid, so I'm just gonna put it in like mid-D tier. The fact I can't really remember too much from it speaks for itself, I think. Next we have Chicken Little. This was actually pretty cool, obviously, about the sky is falling. It's like a cool take on that. I remember having this on DVD. I'm gonna put this like bottom of B tier, I think. Bottom of B. Meet the Robinsons. Honestly, I'm gonna put it in here because I can't remember enough to formulate an opinion, to be quite honest. next. Now, as I mentioned, my sister goes through phases of binge watching Disney movies. She used to watch Bolt on repeat, like honestly, like 3 times a day for probably like a month. She can probably recite most of the script, but it is a very good movie. It is a good movie. I'm gonna put it at the top end of B. Yeah, top end of B I think is fair. Yeah, it is good. It's got a good story. It's got some pretty funny moments as well. Princess and the Frog. I've actually never seen Princess and the Frog. That's pretty bad. I should have seen that. Although, like I said, I think this came out a fair bit after, like your obviously, like your Cinderellas and your stuff. It's like a recent Disney cartoon. At which point, Disney cartoons probably weren't appealing to me. And like I said, I don't really identify with the Disney princesses. So. Tangled. Oh, Tangled is I think Tangled is S tier, right? Tangled is so good. Like, I feel like Frozen came out and everyone forgot about Tangled a little bit. I actually prefer this Tangled film. I prefer Tangled to the first Frozen film 100%. I think Tangled is a brilliant film, but I'll put it at the bottom of S tier for me. Next we have Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph is a cool story. Obviously got some cool characters in it. I'll put it in B. It's top end of B. I'll put it behind Bolt. I don't think it's as good as Bolt. But yeah. Next up we have Frozen #1. I honestly think this film is immensely overrated. Don't get me wrong, it's still a very good film, but yeah. And especially as when Frozen 2 came out, I think it made me realise that Frozen 1 has its inadequacies. So it's still good. So I'm gonna put it in B. I'll put it top end of B. Honestly, I prefer Bold to Frozen, so yeah, we'll go with that. Big Hero 6. What an incredible Pixar film. This is going in S tier. I'm gonna put it ahead of Peter Pan, potentially. Yeah, it's one of my favourite Pixar films. It's just so heartfelt. The opening 15 minutes is like absolutely heartbreaking, and the rest of the film just has so many good like themes, and it's just great, and visually it's amazing. Definitely an S tier film. I don't know if you can hear that plane. It's literally 1:45. I don't know who's flying a little plane at this time, but anyways, Zootopia. There's a lot of hype about this film. I remember when it came out, there was a lot of hype. I like Flash the Sloth, and I always see like memes about how the rabbit in it is like really fit, which I just find very, very strange. I think it's good. I haven't watched it too many times, so I'm just gonna put it like smack bang in the middle of B, to be honest. Why not? Next we have Moana. I do love Moana. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I'm gonna put it here, in between Hercules and Winnie the Pooh. It's got some great music in it. Really good story. Not too much more to be said about it. Dwayne Johnson does a great job as Maui, and very enjoyable. Now there's actually 2 here that I haven't seen. I've never seen Wreck-It Ralph 2, and I haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon. I feel like this one was meant to come out in cinema, then didn't, then went to Disney Plus. But it was sort of on there before I got it, so I feel like I've missed the sort of hype train, if there was a hype train with it. I'm not too sure. So we're down to our remaining 2 Disney films. Frozen 2. Frozen 2 for me is an S tier movie. I think I'm gonna put it there. I think I prefer Big Hero 6 more. But the music in Frozen 2 is amazing. Like, I am not ashamed to say that the scene in the cave where, what's it called, is it Show Yourself? It made me cry. And not just the first time watching it, but like I'm pretty sure like the second and third time watching it as well. I think it's just such a beautiful movie, and it, in my opinion, really puts Frozen 1 to absolute shame. But let me know what you think about that down below. And then finally we have Disney's most recent movie. Well, they've just released Turning Red, which I'm still yet to see, but aside from that, we've got Encanto. Now, I've only watched this once, it was very recently. It was definitely very enjoyable, but, like, I don't get the hype around We Don't Talk About Bruno. Like, it was number 1 for like 8 weeks here in the UK, and it's nowhere near the best song in the movie. It really just, like, baffled me a little bit. So, I'm gonna put Encanto in B. I'm gonna put it high in B. It is good, it's got a nice story, a nice message, and some very cool characters. But, I don't know, I don't think it has like that amazing rewatchability, in my opinion. So, I think that is my final tier list. I'm pretty happy with the order. Like I say, it can vary day to day probably, but I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. So, rather than abusing me for putting Dumbo in C tier or Lilo and Stitch number 1, let me know what your favourite and least favourite Disney movies are down below if you're able to. If you're too sleepy to do so, then don't worry.